My goal today is to recreate the scenes from Shin Sonic vs. Tails. Oh Horror Skunks posted a video where they had an epic battle where Tails steals a jewel from Shin Sonic and tries to defeat him. And I'm going to need to recreate all of that here inside Minecraft. We're going to split this video into 3 scenes. The first battle, the hospital scene, and the third scene, which is the final battle. The video starts with the first scene where they are already in a battle. Tails is trying to defeat Sonic, but he's still too weak, so Sonic defeats him with a single hit. And okay, for us to start recreating in this first part, I'll just need 2 things. The characters that appear and a map. Okay, here I have a map that I downloaded from the internet. It's like an island, and they're fighting in the middle of a forest. So what I'm going to do is literally come into this mod where I can edit the entire map and delete some parts. For example, I'm going to delete a circle of trees in the middle, which will be where the whole battle takes place. Just flattening it like this until the ground is really thin. And now with this brush here called Noise Painter, it creates a texture with blocks I chose. And I chose 3 types of dirt. I'm gonna paint a space right here in the middle. I'll break all these trees that got bugged when I was clearing here, some trees were left floating, so I'll just break them. Then I come here, select new trees. I'm going to create a box around them like this. I press Ctrl C, and I can come here and paste these trees here in the middle to fill up the forest again, like this. Look, paste a tree there, paste another tree here, and then I just added a few more details to the environment. And that's how the place where they'll have their battle ended up. In the scene I'm going to record, I'm going to use a shader like this with more realistic lighting. And the fight between the two is going to look really cool here. Well, one part of the objective is completed, which is making the scenario. And now only the characters are missing, and we can start making the animation and recording their battle scene. I already have Shin Sonic here because I posted a video recreating all the Shin Sonic characters in Minecraft, which is making the scenario. And now only the characters are missing, and we can start making the animation and recording their battle scene. I already have Shin Sonic here because I posted a video recreating all the Shin Sonic characters in Minecraft. Tails that he has, just like Tails himself. And for the adult Tails version, I used the Shin Sonic body that I had already created, and I painted it orange and just swapped the head with the one I made for Tails before. And there we go. Now with the characters ready and the map too, our goals are complete, and we can start recording scenes. As I had shown you, it starts with them fighting. I'm going to come here and create a scene called Scene 1 and add a camera position more or less here. I add the replay and choose the characters that will appear in the scene. There's this one here. In this case, it's just the 2 of them in the first scene. I'll start recording. With Shin Tails, he'll be more or less here in this part standing where everything's broken, and he'll be looking up there, look over here. Then Shin Sonic will throw him up, so I'll already make a flying scene, and when he's up here, Shin Sonic will hit him, and he will transform into that small, weak Tails and fall to the ground, so stop recording, and now I come here and select Sonic. I'll start the recording with him here. I'll approach, and in this part, he'll raise his arms and show his power to prove that he's stronger than Tails. Then raised them, picked it up here, and threw him to the ground, and boom, he fell there on the ground. Okay, this first battle scene doesn't have that much. The one with more battle is really at the end. Well, now I need to do the animations. In this case here on Sonic, right at the beginning, when he approaches to show his power, I'll already create 2 keyframes here, which will be where he raises his arms up here. Look, I rotate here, raise his head, and rotate this other arm up too, like this. He will fly a little up too, like this. Okay, then Tails will already be looking and saying, oh no, now I'm doomed. And right after that here, we create a keyframe and 1 forward. We erase Sonic because he will teleport more or less here. So in the next one, we already put him here again and place him up here because he's going to bring Tails up here. We can already leave his arms normal too. Just come here and reset the transformation. And look, it's more or less like this. He will raise his arms and teleport. He literally teleports there. And I'll do the same thing with Tails. His scene looking and being thrown and then transforming into a baby. And all done. The first scene is ready. I'll leave the result with you, comparing the original scene with mine. And well, I think it turned out really good for a first. Now we have to go to part number 2. The second scene takes place entirely inside a hospital. Right after Tails is defeated by Sonic, he remains in his child form, and Dr. Eggman appears arguing with him a lot, yelling, saying he's weak, that he's afraid, and a bunch of stuff, and then he's going to encourage him to fight Sonic again, saying he can win. Okay, now for this scene, we need a hospital, and that's what I'm going to make. I got here some hospital decoration items, and I'm going to create here, look, a square. That will be the hospital. It will be inside here. I'll create there, I'll create here, literally like this. And then with this mod here, look, it makes my construction much easier because I just place this, grab here, pull over here and there. That's why sometimes I can make scenarios so fast, because this building mod helps me a lot. Look, I'm gonna clone the floor here, pull it here, done. And now I'll just place the bed, the items here that are in the hospital, right? The chair. In this part here, I'll put a little door, some boxes here, carpet, and done. It became a great hospital decoration. And it's going to be inside here where Shin Tails will be hospitalized. This scene here won't be as difficult as scene number 3, because Tails will just be lying here in his bed recovering. Poor thing, while Eggman will be yelling at him because he lost, man. I'll make a pose for him here. He'll be looking to the side this way. And with Eggman, I'll stop here and start a recording. He'll be far, he'll arrive and say, hey you lost I don't know what. And I'll just be here talking to him, shaking my head for about 20 seconds. The hardest parts to do here really will be some animations. Like, there's a part where Eggman points his finger in Tails' face, literally like this look, saying he's scared and stuff. That he's not afraid of him, that he's a freak, he's going to point his finger at him. I'll lower it here. Make the animation of him putting the finger in his face. He'll have to get a little closer. And then I spent more time creating the animations. And perfect, I finished. I'll also leave the comparison for you of how the original versus mine turned out. This one was a little more simple. But now scene number 3 will be much cooler. And now for the third and final scene, it's again their battle. In the scene, Eggman and Tails start going by spaceship to where Sonic is. Well, and there's no way he can fight so tiny. So they kind of take the Sonic's jewel, Tails touches it and becomes big. And then the battle starts, and in this part, there will literally just be slaps between the two. One will punch, the other will punch, and then they'll put their hands in front of each other. Lightning will start coming out. And then it explodes, and Eggman kind of just keeps watching, laughing, and runs away. Well, we'll start a little far away like here, look, because they'll be coming by spaceship. So, I'll come here and press to record. I already separated the ship. It's the ship from the game too, that classic ship there. I placed both here, so they'll just come a little forward here. And since they're around here, I'll leave Shin Sonic standing here. Look, he'll be standing just watching them arrive. The first animation I need to make is in this part. Eggman will look to the side, put his hand on Tails, and throw him up. Here, look, in the part where he throws him up, I'll grab Tails, I'll throw him here, throw him to the side, and a little further forward to make him fall down there. He kind of forces poor Tails to fight Sonic, even though he doesn't even want to. Done. Look, then the scene of him throwing is already ready. That's one of the first parts forcing him to fight. Now, second is where Sonic will be standing here. And I already left the diamond, the jewel here on the side. Look, he'll be standing when he shakes his head. I'll come here and grab the jewel, let me see where it is, more or less here, and I'll record with the jewel here inside. Look. At the time he shakes his head, I fall here to the side. To make it invisible, just reduce everything to 0 and then put everything to 1. Then look, at the time it's falling, it transforms there in the middle, look. Then it looks like it really came out of his ear. After that, there'll be a cut and the jewel will already be kind of like this, look, stuck in the ground. I'll stick it here in the ground, make it a little bigger, and I'll stop here on the side and record a scene where Tails is lying on the ground right after being thrown. He'll be here, and in the animation, he'll be more or less like this, all beaten up. Here. Poor little guy, man, he'll just literally try to touch the jewel with his arm, like this. Then he looks over there and manages to touch the jewel. Right after we can make a transformation in him where he starts to grow into the Tails shape itself, like this. But in the middle of the way, he goes back to being that giant Shin Tails. How am I going to do this? Just make a transition between the two. I grab here, at the time one appears, the other disappears. And then it will look like they literally transformed into each other. Even though they are two different models. Look, it creates a kind of cool transition. One will be there and transforms. Wow, that turned out really good. And now finally is the battle scene between the two. I'll record here with him. Then he slaps, goes back, Tails comes, they go forward and punch each other in the hand. I'll just record a simple scene here with Tails too, and then I sync the animations. Look, comes, slaps, goes back, approaches and punches. And for this, I made some animations of their battle and it's ready. And done, I finished all the scenes. I'll leave you with the full result. See you.
Listen, boy. What the Drunken bean.
Let me go.
No! Shin Sonic was a plot twist. Nobody wondered. And you need to erase this chapter.
No.
Forever.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes. But you have to trust me.
I can't do anything. I'm in so much pain.
I like pain. Pain is good.
Why? Why?
You see? Pain makes me laugh. Now it's your turn to make me laugh.